Hey guys, Mitch here. So, just going to do a quick review on my Honda mower. One of the guys on YouTube has asked for the review, so I thought I've got a spare day today, so I'll do it. So what I've got is it's a HRX 217. HYA, I think is what it's the full model number. So let's just go right around it. Obviously you can see I haven't got the bag on it. So what do I like about it? First thing, it's really fast. You can see here how it's not a 3-speed like the older ones. It's got all different speeds there. So when the grass gets really thick, when I'm mulching, I'll sort of, instead of having it there at full speed, I'll have it sort of, down there so it gets through the grass a little bit easier. I think that's a really good thing there. Obviously everyone walks at different speeds as well, so having that a lot of different speeds there's quite handy. Just a normal throttle there. I think the biggest advantage with this mower here compared to the older Honda models is this feature right here. So this is on mulch at the moment now, so you can see there that what happens is when that's in mulch there's a little thing there that goes across. So and then it opens that right up. It's just not opening up there. There's a bit of grass in the way, but you get the idea there of what that is, and that's as simple as this thing here just going backwards and forwards. So that's the mulch plate all the way across, and there's all the way open. So bag, mulch, pretty straightforward. It takes 1 second to change it from bagging to mulching, and that's someone like me. I mulch just about every lawn I do. It's a good feature to have because the older Hondas and other mowers that I've used, the Rovers with Briggs and Stratton engines and stuff, they just have a mulch plug, and I have had issues with that plug getting coming out and going into the blades and just getting messed up, whereas that's a built-in feature, and I really don't understand why other companies haven't done that yet. I know there is specific mulching mowers out there, but a lot of the time they don't actually catch as well. So it's a really seems like a really simple mechanism that I think every mower will have in the future. That was the reason why I went with that one. Basically, in Australia, we've been battling with the same old Honda mowers for, I think they really haven't changed for about 15 years. I think my dad's got one that's supposed to be older than that. It'd probably be 25 years old, I reckon. It's still going. That's the beauty of Hondas, and that's why you go Honda, is they just go forever. But they really haven't changed. They have small chutes at the back, like you've seen with that. That's still the same. My dad's one is like a 2-speed. I think they went to 3-speed in Australia, and then now I actually imported this one from America, but they are selling them now in Australia, which is good, and it's about time. But I mean, this has been out in America for over 5 years, so it's taken that long for us to be able to get something, a bit of updated technology, I guess is the way to put it. And all it is a simple chute blocker that you can change from bag to mulch, that simply without having a mulch plug in there. It's a lot bigger too. It's hard to tell without being against another mower, but the whole chassis is a lot bigger. The other Honda mowers that we've had the engine's been 160 cc's. So you can see this one here, it says it there is a 190, so it's a GCV 190, whereas all the other Hondas have been 160. So the 190 cc's is a lot better, a lot, you know, just a lot more power, and especially when you're mulching, you need that extra power, and it certainly comes in handy. And when I've got the speed up to full speed, like you know, I'm really walking fast, so it's a really fast mower, and you know, as long as the conditions are fine, then you know it plows through the grass really good. Even when you're mulching, when you're catching it, pretty much you don't need to slow down at all. You can just go through anything, and it does catch really well. That was the one big downfall of Honda's, was that small chute at the back. Used to, you know, get clogged up with grass really easy. These, I think the extra cc's, the extra, what was it, 30 cc's, really powers that grass into the chute, into the, you know, through that chute and into the bag when you are catching. So I think it's a must to have that extra 30 cc's. The mower I had before this was a Rover with 190 cc's, and that has a fully open back, so that never had issues clogging up, because again, I think they have the gearbox or whatever's down in there. So, but you know, the Rovers didn't have that. You know, every mower is different, I guess, in their setup, but I think, and there is no such thing as a perfect mower. You know, this does have its downfalls, and I think that the Honda's back, I think, is definitely that. So you can see how it's only got a small opening there, whereas the last mower I had, it was a fully open right the way here, so the grass would just fly out of there. But this makes up for it in other ways. As I said, I don't do much catching, so as long as I can get through the grass, you know, it's fine. The other big difference to other mowers that I've used is, just tip it on its side here, is the blade setup. So you can see there, it's a bar blade, but it's actually got two blades. So spin this around, so you can see there, that's got an upper blade and a lower blade. So that's the sharp side there. So that's how it mulches up pretty good, those two blades. So the top blade throws it in the air, and then the bottom blade throws it in the air, the big blade, and then the other one helps chop it up. So the other mowers, you know, or like the discs with the four blades off the two or four blades that are off the side, and I think these are just more suited to mulching as opposed to catching, which is what a lot of people do. And I think a lot of people are actually going towards the mulching. Just, I mean, it's simpler, it's easier, it's quicker, and they say it's better for the grass. I don't know whether it is or not, but that's what, you know, when someone asks whether you mulch or not, I just tell them it is better for the grass. I think it would be, but I think also too, you could it could transfer weeds a little bit more if you had a weedy lawn. You know, it'd spread the grass, but you know, whatever. I mulch everything, so I don't know the true facts on it all, but I know that yeah, mulching's a lot easier, and it seems to keep the grass. I think it might keep nutrients and stuff, more nutrients in the grass, which would help, obviously. I do service it probably every 3 or 4 months, just by dropping the oil out and putting fresh oil in. Put a new filter on every now and then, not very often. Just blow that out when I get a chance. Keep it clean. But yeah, I mean, it's got you can see here the control setup. So this is you can see there, it says blade control, and this is your clutch. So what I'll do, I'll start it up. And one thing with Hondas too is this feature. Nearly flipped it. First time, every time. So I just start the blades up now. So you hold that down, and then you can hear the blades engage. And and then they stop straight away, and then you've got your Self Propelled. So for example, what you do if you're mowing, say I'm mowing this bit of lawn here, got the blades going, and I want to go across the road, I would stop it, go across the road, go over there, and then just start the blades up again. So it's a really simple thing. It took, you know, a couple of weeks to get totally used to it, and people think they're going to have trouble with it, but you know, you've always got a hand on the mower at all times. So you know, it's that the yellow button. You can, when the blades are on, you can take that off and see how it stays down. That's when you know your blades are going to be going. So you don't need to be holding that down as such to keep the blades going. You just need to have it in like that, and then you're holding on to it. So you can hold it sort of anywhere along that thing, and that's going to stay in. So as long as you've got that hand, I mean, you can see there where that's sort of where the paint's wearing off there from me holding it. So this mower's just about 12 months old actually, nearly. I think I got it in July, so it's yeah, what are we, nearly in the middle of June now, so it's, yeah, done nearly 12 months of work. Back tyres are still okay. They are the same size, but you can't, they've got the gear mechanism attached to the inside of the back wheel, so to change, you know, you can't. I thought you could actually change just the front wheels to the back wheels, but to get the grippy ones on the back, just like you do with the car, just rotating your wheels, but the gears are different. So the wheels are different, as in they've got the gears on the inside of the rear wheels, so you need to buy specific rear wheels. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I use this mower on a daily basis, and it gets probably just as much use as a zero turn as far as lawns. So it's been through everything I have, you know. As I said, it's done a year's worth of work. I'd hate to think how many lawns it's done, and it's never missed a beat. Like, I've never had it fail on me or break down or anything like that. The only I eventually wore down the pull start, so you can see here that's not a genuine pull start, as in the cable. I just went and you just buy cable and just hook it back in there, and I mean, it's a bit fiddly, but it's not hard to do. It's just adding the string. I'm sure if you've been doing lawns for a while, you've probably done that before. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. Would I get another mower, I think was another question. It'd have to be something pretty special. I don't, like, this does everything I need it to. It fits in just about everywhere. The only thing I think about is if I had a bigger push mower like the Toros are, but I mean, this thing's that fast and does that good a job. I've heard too many negative stuff about the Toro equipment, so I don't see anything. You know, it mulches, it catches, it goes really fast, starts first time every time, super reliable. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't have a downside. The only downside is it's a pretty big 21-inch mower, so it's heavy, but it's about 42, 43 kilos or something, which I think is honestly pretty standard for a push mower. I think they're all going to be up around that when they're 190cc engine. So the deck it looks plasticky, so it doesn't have, it's not an alloy deck like the old ones used to be, but it hasn't, you know, there's only aesthetic sort of cosmetic sort of scratches and stuff on it. Even underneath, it's still in really good shape. That was the one thing with the old Honda mowers, is they had alloy decks on them, and they used to wear out. That actually I think it's a neck sight is the deck, what they say it's called, and that's really, well, they give a lifetime warranty on it, so I mean it's going to be, I would think, would last, I'm going to say forever, but yeah, I've had no issues or anything like that. And I do heaps of, like, I'm in southeastern Australia, and there's sand and, you know, dirt and crap and rocks and all sorts of shit, and it's, you know, it's pretty hard sort of terrain. And I mean, it's done 12 months and I've got no issues. The front of it's still in good shape. Yeah. Apart from that, it's all good. Spark plug's still fine, haven't changed that. Air filters good, and yeah, just hasn't let me down, and which is the main thing I think with your equipment. And that's why I think it's important, especially if you're doing a lot of push mowing, is to have something that's reliable. You know, that's going to be your money making equipment right there. So having a good trimmer that's going to start all the time, you know, even depending on how much you do, like my sort of business model is to update my trimmer every year, and, you know, get the big mowers that are going to last a while. The trimmers do crap loads of work. Like, you know, if I'm, you know, I had days where, you know, I've got someone with me and I'm busting out 25 lawns in a day, and, you know, might do 60 to 80 lawns in a week when it's busy, and, you know, you're trimming the whole time. It's, you know, that goes through a crap load of work, whereas a push mower, you might, you know, push mow one lawn, zero turn the other lawn, so it probably does half the work, and it's probably running a bit easier than your trimmers. So yeah, I definitely won't change, and I'll probably stick, if I had a choice, I'd probably go with another Honda. They're expensive, but they're worth it. They last forever. They start first time every time, and they'll never let you down. The only reason I would get something different is if my circumstances changed. So if the type of mowing I did changed, but even then I'd still probably find something that'd work, you know, with a Honda engine on it. You just can't beat them. All right, guys, that's a review on the Honda HRX 217 mulch and catch. It's a beast. Can't floor it. All right, guys, peace.